So today I got up, got dressed, got coffee, and got stuck in traffic, all before 8 a.m.
That's already four completely different uses of get.
Welcome back to English Talk Sessions, everyone. I'm Mia.
I'm James, and after put, it's time for another small word doing enormous work.
Honestly, when we started planning this episode, I thought get would be the easier one. Fewer letters, surely fewer surprises.
And
I was completely wrong. I found more casual expressions with get in one afternoon than I did with put in a whole week.
get. 2 letters, 15 lives.
15. We counted again.
And it's honestly even sneakier than put was, because get hides inside so many casual expressions we barely notice we're using it.
Get up, get ready, get over it, get out of here.
We say these constantly, and most of us never learn them as separate phrases at all. We just absorb them.
Today, we're going to slow all of that down and actually look at each one properly.
Before we start, here's today's question for you, our listeners. Which get phrase do you already use without realizing it's special? Tell us in the comments. We genuinely want to know.
And if English Talk Sessions is helping you, please hit subscribe. It really helps more learners find us.
And I want to say one more thing before we dive in. Get might actually be the single most useful word in everyday spoken English.
More than put?
Honestly, close. Native speakers use get instead of dozens of fancier verbs, constantly, without even thinking about it.
Instead of receive, become, obtain, arrive, understand.
All of those just quietly replaced by one small, flexible word.
So learning get properly is almost like getting a shortcut through half the dictionary.
That's a great way to put it. All right, let's actually walk through all 15 properly.
Get up. To rise from bed or stand up.
I get up at 7 every morning. Simple enough.
Except this morning, apparently, when you got up, got dressed, got coffee, and got stuck in traffic, all in one sentence.
In my defense, that really was my whole morning.
There's also a firmer version, get up, as a command when someone's still lying in bed at noon.
Said every parent forever.
There's also get up to, meaning to be involved in something, often something mischievous. What have you two been getting up to?
That phrase always sounds like it's expecting a slightly guilty answer.
Because it usually is one.
Get over. To recover from something, emotionally or physically.
It took me months to get over that flu.
Or emotionally. She finally got over the breakup.
I actually have a get over story. Years ago, I was completely convinced I'd never enjoy coffee without sugar again.
That's a surprisingly small crisis.
It felt big at the time, but eventually I got over it, and now I can't stand sugar in my coffee at all.
It's funny how the things we think we'll never get over usually do fade, quietly, without any dramatic moment.
One day you just notice it doesn't hurt anymore, and you can't even remember exactly when that happened.
So we can get over heartbreak, flu, and apparently sweetened coffee.
There's also a sharper version. I can't get over how expensive that was, meaning genuine shock or disbelief.
Oh, I say that one constantly, usually while looking at a restaurant bill.
Recovery and disbelief, both living quietly inside the same 3 words.
Get stuck. To become trapped physically or in a difficult situation.
Like traffic.
Exactly like traffic. I got stuck behind a truck for 20 minutes.
It also works for ideas. I got stuck on question 3 of the test.
Stuck in traffic, stuck on a question, stuck in an elevator, all the same little phrase.
I actually think being stuck is one of the most universal feelings there is, no matter what language you speak.
Which might explain why almost every language has its own version of this exact same expression.
There's also an emotional version. I feel stuck in my career right now.
That one hits differently, honestly. Not trapped by a truck, but trapped by an entire feeling.
Traffic, tests, elevators, and entire careers, all captured by one small word.
Have you ever been stuck in an actual elevator?
Once, for 11 minutes. I learned an uncomfortable amount about the stranger standing next to me in that time.
Small talk under pressure, the purest form of small talk there is.
Get away with, to avoid punishment or consequences for something.
He got away with being late again.
There is also a playful version. You won't get away with this, said dramatically, usually in movies, right before something explodes.
Real life rarely has explosions, but the phrase still fits perfectly at the office printer.
I once got away with wearing mismatched shoes to work for an entire day. Nobody noticed until I pointed it out myself.
Why would you point it out?
Honestly, I have no idea. I just couldn't handle the secret anymore.
So sometimes we get away with things and then ruin it ourselves out of guilt.
There's something almost comforting about that, though, isn't it? A small proof that most of us aren't actually built for getting away with much.
The guilt shows up eventually, uninvited, like a very persistent house guest.
Exactly that.
Get through. To survive something difficult or successfully finish it. It can also mean to reach someone by phone.
3 meanings in one small phrase.
We got through the hardest year of the project. That's surviving.
I finally got through to customer service after an hour on hold. That's reaching someone.
And I got through the whole book in one weekend. That's finishing something.
Survive it, reach it, or finish it, all wearing the same 2 letters.
I actually think this is the most emotionally loaded one on the whole list. We got through it carries so much more weight than we survived.
It sounds gentler somehow, even though it means the exact same thing.
Get by. To manage with limited resources.
We're getting by on a tight budget this month.
It's not thriving and it's not failing. It's just quietly managing.
I think we're often told that just getting by is somehow a failure, but honestly, some seasons of life are exactly that, survival mode and nothing more.
And surviving a hard season is still an achievement, even if nobody applauds it.
I like that this phrase exists, honestly. Not every month needs to be a triumph. Some months getting by is completely enough.
There's also get by with a little help, which honestly might be the most human phrase on this entire list.
Nobody gets by completely alone, even when it looks that way from the outside.
Even the most independent people I know are quietly getting by with someone else's small help somewhere.
A ride, a favor, a shoulder to complain to, nobody's story is a solo one, even when it looks that way from a distance.
Get around. To travel from place to place or to find a way past a difficult problem.
2 very different journeys.
I get around the city by bike. That's the literal version.
She found a clever way to get around the rule. That's the clever version.
One is about wheels, the other is about wit.
I think I use the second version far more than the first, honestly. My actual navigation skills are questionable at best.
Getting around the city or getting around the rule, I'll admit, I've always been better at the second one.
There's also word gets around, meaning news or gossip spreads quickly.
Oh, that one's dangerous in a small office.
Extremely. Say one thing at lunch and by 3 o'clock the whole building somehow knows.
I've genuinely learned to treat the office kitchen like a small, unofficial newsroom.
Breaking news delivered entirely through raised eyebrows and long pauses.
Get back to reply to someone later or to return your attention to something.
I'll get back to you tomorrow.
The most common unfulfilled promise in modern communication.
I think we've all sent that message with completely good intentions and then genuinely forgotten by the next morning.
It's never a lie exactly. It's just optimism about our future selves that doesn't always survive contact with reality.
Future us always sounds so reliable in the moment, doesn't he?
Confident, organized, definitely going to reply by tomorrow. And then tomorrow arrives and he's nowhere to be found.
Painfully true. It also works for tasks. Let me finish this call, then I'll get back to the report.
Reply later or return to something later, same gentle little delay.
Get into. To become interested in something or simply to enter a place.
I recently got into painting. That's interest.
We couldn't get into the concert, it was full. That's entry.
I got into pottery last year very briefly and very badly.
How badly?
Every single bowl came out looking exactly like a very sad hat.
Did you keep any of them?
One. It sits on my kitchen shelf now, holding exactly nothing, purely for humility purposes.
There's also get into it, meaning to become deeply engaged, sometimes even heated. They really got into an argument about the bill.
Interest, entry, and mild conflict all quietly sharing the same doorway.
It's a strangely versatile little doorway when you think about it. Hobbies, buildings, and arguments all fitting through the exact same frame.
Get out of. To avoid doing something you're supposed to do.
He got out of the meeting by claiming he was sick.
We've all used this one, honestly. At least once.
I once got out of a family dinner by saying my internet was down. It wasn't.
James.
I regret nothing. And also everything.
There's also get out of it. Use when someone dodges a responsibility entirely without even a good excuse. He just never showed up and somehow got out of it completely.
The boldest version, honestly. No excuse, just quiet disappearance.
I couldn't do that personally. My guilt would track me down within the hour.
Mine too, honestly, which is probably exactly why I've never actually tried it.
Get along with. To have a good, friendly relationship with someone.
I get along really well with my new coworkers.
It's such a small phrase for something so important, actually. Whether you get along with the people around you shapes an enormous part of daily life.
I've had jobs where the work itself was fine, but I dreaded going in simply because I didn't get along with one particular person.
One difficult relationship really can color an entire day, can't it? Completely out of proportion to how small the actual friction usually is.
My roommate and I get along mostly because neither of us mentions the dishes.
A relationship built on strategic silence.
Some of the healthiest relationships I know are built on exactly that. Not constant, deep conversation, just comfortable, low-effort coexistence.
The strongest kind, apparently.
I think a lot of long friendships are quietly built this way, not on deep conversations every day, just on comfortable, unspoken agreements.
Agreements nobody actually signed, but everybody somehow respects.
There's also get on, a close cousin used mostly in British English. How are you two getting on?
Same warm question, slightly different accent.
Get down to finally start focusing seriously on something.
All right, let's get down to business.
It always signals a shift, doesn't it? Small talk ends and the real work begins.
I think every meeting secretly has two parts. The polite warm-up and then the actual let's get down to business moment everyone's quietly waiting for.
And somehow everyone always knows exactly when that shift happens without anyone ever announcing it.
I use this phrase constantly right before I finally open my laptop after 20 minutes of getting ready to get ready.
Getting ready to get ready might be the most honest 4 words in this entire episode.
It deserves its own card, honestly.
Get across, to communicate an idea clearly.
This one echoes something from our put episode, actually.
I love these small echoes between episodes, honestly. It shows how connected all these small words really are underneath.
Different words, same very human struggle, just trying to be understood clearly.
Put across and get across basically share a job.
I struggled to get my point across in the interview.
Same emotional experience we talked about last time, knowing exactly what you mean and the words just not quite arriving.
Some feelings apparently need 2 different words to fully describe them.
And there's a related one too, get across, meaning to physically travel from one side to the other. It took me an hour to get across town in this weather.
So get across can mean crossing a city or crossing the gap between what you think and what you actually manage to say.
Honestly, I think most communication problems are really just failures to get something across, not failures of intelligence.
That's oddly comforting. It's not that people don't understand each other, it's just that the bridge sometimes needs a little more work.
Distance and meaning both measured the exact same way.
I think that's a nice place to pause and reflect for a second, actually.
Go ahead.
So much of learning English, or honestly any language, is just slowly building better and better bridges for your own ideas.
And finally, 15. Get used to become accustomed to something over time.
It took me a while to get used to the new schedule.
This might be my favorite one to end on, honestly.
I remember my first week living somewhere new, everything felt loud and strange, even ordinary sounds outside my window.
And a few months later?
A few months later, I didn't even notice them anymore. That's the whole quiet magic of getting used to something.
Why's that?
Because it's basically the story of learning English itself. Strange at first, uncomfortable for a while, and then one day, without noticing exactly when, you're just used to it.
15 uses, and the smallest word carried every one of them. Again,
From getting up in the morning all the way to getting used to an entirely new language.
quite a journey for 2 letters.
And I think that's really the heart of today's episode. You don't need 50 new words to sound more natural. You just need to notice the ones already hiding inside words you already know.
15 meanings, 1 small word, and an entire life fitting quietly inside it.
Waking up, recovering, traveling, communicating, and slowly adjusting. Our whole day quietly narrated by one tiny word.
2 letters carrying an entire life on their back without ever complaining.
Okay, quick honest question before we close.
Go for it.
Out of all 15, which one do you actually use the most?
Get out of, unfortunately. My internet has gone down more times than is medically possible.
Mine's get over. Apparently, I'm always recovering from something small and slightly dramatic.
A pattern is emerging.
A very specific pattern, yes.
It's almost like these 15 phrases quietly reveal something about our personalities, not just our vocabulary.
Tell me what you use most, and I'll tell you what kind of week you're probably having.
If you want to actually remember these, here's a small tip. Pick 3 from this list, the 3 that felt most like you.
Say them out loud today, in your own sentence.
Not memorized, just noticed and used once.
That's usually enough to make a phrase actually stick.
Today's golden sentence.
You don't need every meaning of a word. You just need to get comfortable with a few.
Say it with us, everyone.
You don't need every meaning of a word.
You just need to get comfortable with a few.
Now, here's today's comment challenge, and we really want to hear from you.
Pick just one of these 15 and write a sentence using it about your actual day today.
Not a textbook sentence, a real one. I got stuck in traffic. I finally got over my Monday mood.
Drop it in the comments below, and we promise we read every single one.
And here's a question for you specifically. Which get phrase do you think you'll forget the fastest, and which one do you think will actually stick?
We're genuinely curious what you'll say.
If this helped, share it with someone who also has a chair drobe, wherever they may be.
We all know that person. Sometimes we are that person.
Before we go, one more small thing.
Of course there is.
Get and put aren't the only small words carrying enormous weight in English.
Oh, I think I know exactly where this is going.
Set. 13 more surprising uses hiding inside exactly like today.
That's next time, everyone.
Take care, keep noticing the small words, and we'll see you soon.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.